Hi everyone, it's Will with the 1907 diary entry. We are still in the Crimea. We're up to the 15th. It's a Saturday. Today's diary entry is short and it's just continuing on with the topics that arose yesterday and the ongoing problem with tension between Laming on the one hand and Aunt Minnie on the other, with Aunt Ella being part of the problem but not on the scene. So if you remember yesterday, Dimitri told us that Ella had stipulated firstly she had said no dinners, no lunches. They're not to go out to the homes of the other members of the imperial family. For whatever reason, she didn't want them to do that. And personally, I see Sergei, the late Uncle Sergei's influence in that. He wasn't close to other members of the family. For the most part, they didn't like him. And he was happy to keep Dmitri and Marie away from them in Moscow. And Ella does relent on this and says, all right, on Saturdays only, they can go out for lunch or dinner, but they are to be home by 9:30 at night. And Maria rebelled against that idea. And today it will come to a head. So Dimitri's going to talk about that, and let's dive in. We went swimming at 8 o'clock, and then I studied with GM until 12 o'clock. After lunch, I read, and at 3:30, Aunt Minnie came to get us. Thank God we didn't go to Yalta. Instead, we took a ride to Oryanda. It was so terribly sad to see the ruined palaces. Almost nothing remains of them now. We're going to Aunt Minnie's for dinner this evening. GM just now returned. He'd gone to Moscow with a cousin of his, and, poor thing, he returned in a very dissatisfied state because his horse was walking very badly. He seems to be in a foul mood, so I guess the rest of the day won't be fun. 7:35. Okay, so they must be leaving any minute for Aunt Minnie's, because dinner is usually served amongst the various imperial households between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. So I think Dimitri is a little concerned that when Aunt Minnie comes to get them for dinner, there's going to be some kind of scene. Okay, Oryanda. I looked it up once. I didn't see that there were any imperial palaces there, but apparently it had been a popular location. It was near to all of these other estates and to Yalta, and apparently at one time it had been a neighborhood, you could say, or a village around which people had bought estates and built palaces, and for whatever reason it was abandoned, and now the palaces are falling apart. And even though Dmitri had not spent time in the Crimea back in whatever time period it was that Oryanda was fashionable, he still finds it sad to see these ruins. So very typical of him. Though in this instance he doesn't wax poetic. So the dinner is, Aunt Minnie will be arriving any minute, we can assume, and GM just got back from Yalta, where he was going with his cousin, or to meet his cousin there, I think with his cousin, and he had problems with the horse. So now he's really in a foul mood, and poor Dmitri. If Maria picks this particular moment to be to stir things up, then it's really going to be bad. So we'll have to wait till tomorrow to find out what happened to that. This time, Dimitri narrowly got off the hook because Aunt Minnie decided that she wasn't going to take her niece and nephew off to Yalta, and he'd been very afraid that there was going to be a fight between her and Laming, and that didn't materialize. That's another reason for Maria to be upset, because Maria had wanted to go to Yalta and had asked to be taken to Yalta. So I am going to leave you hanging with that. And I am leaving myself hanging until I sign off just now. And then I'm going to look at tomorrow's diary entry and see what happened. So, yeah, come back for that. I guess this is a good time to stop. And I'll see you next time. Bye.